What up, everyone? This is Mr. Lord, Dr. Professor, Dark Joker, with another edition of Where, Pick, and Dare, where I pick games for the various games that are occurring tomorrow. Whether it's football, baseball, basketball, basically whatever games I want to pick, I will pick them. With all that being said, on with the video. NFL, the AFC Championship. So this is between the New England Patriots and the Denver Broncos. The Patriots have a 58.8% chance to win, and the Broncos have a 41.2% chance to win. This is at Denver. So for quarterbacks, you have Drake May for the Patriots, 354 out of 492, 31 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, and you have for the Broncos. Well, there's really no stats for Stidham this year. Like Jared Stidham's, he's playing, there's like no stats for him, so yeah, and he hasn't really done much. And so for injuries, for the Patriots, you have Gregory, Farmer, and Jennings are on the IR, and Hollins and Mapu are questionable for the Broncos. Um, Wattenberg, Skinner, and Franklin are questionable, and Bo Nix and Sanders are on the IR. So yeah, the Bo Nix injury, that's the big deal. Now, the Broncos, they have a good surrounding cast, that has helped. And, Sean Payton is a good coach. But, yeah, there's a lot of things. So, J.K. Dobbins, of course, is also on the IR for the Broncos. Like, that's a dang. Like, the injury stuff is big. Like, for the Broncos, the injuries are big. Like, leading rusher and then their quarterback all both out. Oh, that's gonna hurt. Like, and then Stidham, who's not really done much in the pros. And in my opinion, he wasn't really that great in college. And so yeah, we'll see how Drake May will do against the Broncos defense. Who has played well. Like the Broncos defense they've played very well. So I'm interested in what happens. It could be good, but I think just with the quarterback, with them basically not playing all this year, and basically just coming in and he's not really that great of a quarterback in general in my opinion. I think even though Drake May doesn't have a lot of playoff experience, I think the Patriots will beat the Broncos and make it to the Super Bowl. The NFC Championship. So this game's between the Los Angeles Rams and the Seattle Seahawks. The Rams have a 45.5% chance to win. The Seahawks have a 54.5% chance to win. This is at Seattle. So yeah, for quarterbacks, you have a Matthew Stafford for the Rams, 388 out of 597, 4707 yards, 46 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. Sam Darnold for the Seahawks, 323 out of 477, 48 yards, 25 touchdowns, 14 interceptions. For injuries, so for the Rams, Havenstein, Witherspoon, Dolock, and Thomas are on injured reserve, and Young is questionable. For the Seahawks, Jones is questionable, Knight is doubtful, and Surratt, Charbonnet, and Cabaldu are on injured reserve. So it looks like Darnold, like even though there was some injury concern, it looks like he's basically expected to play. So like I don't even see like an injury like designator for him. And so yeah, this could be a pretty good game. Obviously, Seahawks played very well, especially at home. They did win the division, and one of the things is Darnold, and so yeah, I mean Sam Darnold, like he does. There's some concerns with the injury, even though there's no injury designator on him. he did have an oblique injury, and so there was some. He was limited in practice, some, and obviously he's thrown more almost twice as many interceptions as Stafford, and Stafford's thrown basically almost twice as many touchdowns as Darnold. So very obviously the Rams had the better quarterback in this game. And Darnold, hasn't really had a lot of good years. I mean, and the Rams, like that defense, like the Rams are pretty freaking good. Like, and basically, this could be a good because past 5 games between the two teams have been one score. So like that's and Seattle's win was overtime, 1 point difference, yeah. So I think this could be a really good game. Like this is the game of the weekend. Like it's nice that they put it as the last game of the day because that is the better game. Like who? Like I think this could be a really good game. I think just with how good Stafford has been this year, compared to Darnold, I think, and even though it's at Seattle, I think with the quarterbacks, I think the Rams will beat the Seahawks tomorrow to make it to the Super Bowl. College women's basketball. Ohio State Buckeyes versus Iowa Hawkeyes. Ohio State has a 30.9% chance to win. Iowa has a 69.1% chance to win. This is at Iowa. So Ohio State is 12 in nation, 18-2 record. Iowa is 10 in nation, 17-2 record. For stats, Ohio State has more points per game, slightly more points against. Iowa has a higher field goal percentage and has more rebounds per game, assists per game. Ohio State has more blocks per game and steals per game. These stats are pretty close, so I think home field advantage is going to be a big thing here. So I think Iowa will beat Ohio State. Vanderbilt Commodores versus South Carolina Gamecocks. Vandy is an 11% chance to win. South Carolina has a 89% chance to win. This is at South Carolina, so Vandy's 5 in the nation, 20-0 record. South Carolina's 2 in the nation, 19-2 record. For stats, South Carolina has more points per game. Vandy has more points against. South Carolina has a higher field goal percentage and has more rebounds per game. Vandy has more assists per game. South Carolina has more blocks per game, and Vandy has more steals per game. These stats are pretty close, so I think home field advantage is going to be a big thing here. So I think South Carolina will beat Vanderbilt. NBA. Golden State Warriors versus Minnesota Timberwolves. The Warriors have a 32.5% chance to win, and the Wolves have a 67.5% chance to win. This is at Minnesota. So for injuries, for the Warriors, Kuminga is out. Melton, Horford, and Curry are game time decisions, and Butler's out for the season. For the Wolves, Shan Jr. is out. For stats, Wolves have more points per game, slightly more points against, higher field goal percentage, more rebounds per game. Warriors have more assists per game. Wolves have more blocks per game. And Warriors have more steals per game. These stats are pretty close, so I think home field advantage is going to be a big thing here. So I think the Timberwolves will beat the Warriors. Raptors versus Oklahoma City Thunder. The Raptors have an 18.4% chance to win. The Thunder have a 1.6% chance to win. This is at OKC. For injuries, for the Raptors, Quickly, Walter, and Murray Boyles are game time decisions, and Podol and Hepburn are out. For the Thunder, Mitchell, Caruso, Hartenstein, and Williams are out, and Wiggins is a game time decision. For stats, Thunder have more points per game. Raptors have more points against. Thunder have higher field goal percentage and have slightly more rebounds per game. Raptors have more assists per game. Thunder have more blocks per game and steals per game. These stats are pretty close, so I think home field advantage is going to be a big thing here. So I think the Thunder will beat the Raptors. Miami Heat versus Phoenix Suns. The Heat have a 39.1% chance to win. The Suns have a 60.9% chance to win. This is at Phoenix. For injuries, for the Heat, Mitchell, Ware, Harrow, and Rozier are out. And for the Suns, Green's a game time decision, and Booker's out. For stats, Heat have more points per game, points against, slightly higher field goal percentage, more rebounds per game, assists per game, slightly more blocks per game, and Suns have more steals per game. These stats are pretty close, so I think home field advantage is going to be a big thing here. So I think the Suns will beat the Heat. And that's it for picks. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening to my picks. Do you agree with them? Do you not? If you have different picks, you can put them in the comments. But other than that, please like, subscribe, and all that. Thank you for listening, and look forward to the next video.